How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Senseonics. I know it's been a minute since I spoke about it, but I've been getting those questions. Dre, are you still inside of this play? And I'm like, of course I'm still inside of this play. We did have a pullback, and we are seeing this with a lot of small and medium cap growth stocks. And I want to make sure you're aware of this trend. I will talk about it more inside this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as for the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Senseonics. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.18, being down 1.55%. When we take a look at where it ranged on the day, the low was $3.18, and then on the high, testing $3.32. When we take a look at the volume stats, we could see it traded at 5.506 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 7.394 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and I must say, Sens actually held itself up fairly well due to the fact we have been seeing a trend going on with small and medium cap stocks in regards to sell-offs. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 34.69. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 21-day EMA. We're also below the 50-day. We're also below the 100-day, but we are staying above the 200-day, which is good to see. But one thing that I want to point out, if we decide to pull back to $3.13 where we have the 200-day, I'm going to be looking for a bounce. If it breaks through the 200-day, officially that puts it below all of the major moving averages, and this is where we could see some downside, where we could possibly test right here at this $3 level. You could see this has been an area of support for Sens, so you're going to want to see a continuation of that if that ever occurs. That is going to be the bearish case scenario. As far as for the bullish case scenario, we ended up seeing a high on the day of $3.32. So what you'd want to see Senseonics actually gain some momentum and get above $3.42, where we will have resistance right here around $3.44, which is lined up right at the 100-day. If we are able to pass this, this is where I'm going to be looking for a move so we can get above 350 and things can start looking strong. And also that puts us officially over our major moving averages as well. So this is why you want to continue to keep an eye on this play. And if you are going to be getting into it, you do your homework, you do your due diligence. But for the most part, you can see we're continuing to trade within this tight range in regards to $3 and as well as $4. And of course, this has been going on for quite some time. But if you're inside of this play and you're waiting on that FDA approval like myself, hey, we just got to sit back and see what happens. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Senseonics. So we can see for the dark pool short volume ratio, it's at 41.76%. And then for the dark pool short volume, it is at 982,565 shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 3.2 million, updated 29 minutes ago. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Senseonics. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 3,375, and then on the outflows at 2,754. When we take a look at the breakdown even further, on the large scale side, we had 0. On the medium, we had 1,955. And then on the small, we had 1,420. When we take a look at the outflow side, on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 1,596. And then on the small, it was 1,158. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see zeros down the board. So potentially institutions have not not been loading up heavily on shares. When we take a look at the small scale orders, which tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling as well. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 1.24%. So for a stock like Senseonics, this is not too bad. We do have some traders that do come in and out of the play, but for the most part, there are many who are continuing to hold on to their shares. And from what we saw from the order flow distribution, there's still a lot of demand for this stock. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Senseonics, I'm still going to remain bullish on this play. If it decides to have a pullback like I talked about inside of the technicals, then I'll be looking to add to my position. And also for anyone that believes in the long-term prospects and you have been waiting on the sidelines, you have an opportunity to get this stock at a better price than it was before. So do your homework, do your due diligence, and see if it's going to be right for you. I do see this stock pulling back further, and this is why I want to make sure I bring this to your attention. In the bullish case scenario, I would like to see Senseonics being above $3.50 and then making that move to that resistance that we have at $4. But in order for us to have some really strong price action, it's going to be dependent on that FDA approval. Let's just be honest here. But for the most part, it's good to see it has been on a solid uptrend for quite some time, and it has been trading within a very tight channel. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is why I said, if you have a lot of volume coming into the play or we end up having a catalyst, this stock can move fairly quickly. And as far as for the trends that are happening inside of the market, we've been seeing a lot of small and medium cap growth stocks that have been selling off. And mostly this could be chalked up for tax purposes. There's many people who buy into these positions and they want to sell them, especially if they're at a loss, so they can move that money into other higher conviction plays. So just be aware this volatility will continue, especially as we get closer to the end of the year and going into December. But one thing that I want to mention, keep an eye on it if you want to be an investor, or maybe if you're a current investor, you can look for averaging down and so forth, but only do this if you have high conviction inside of the play. And to provide my final thoughts in regards to the technical aspect of this stock, I want to see it hold up support at $3.13, which is right around where we have the 200-day simple moving average. If it breaks through the 200-day, that's when it starts looking bearish. But of course, I'm going to want to see some strength right at that $3 level. We have been shown to have support there, and that's exactly what I want to see if that was ever to occur. And if it decided to pull back even below $3, that's when I'm going to consider to start loading up the boat on some shares. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.